Did I do anything like funny for the opening?
I'll start off.
You could just be like...
No, I got something.
Okay.
Alright now, Mark. We're gonna do this here video. But you're gonna not yell at all. No.
Okay.
Okay. I thought you were really gonna yell, hello and welcome.
No, like, trust me, like, after what I did in my reaction, I got it all out.
Good. Alright, well, we'll get to that when we get to that. Welcome to RWBY Discussions. I am MaxN'Mate Trades. With me, as always, is the extraordinarily excitable... Mark.
Because you went and used my real name.
Am I not allowed to do that? Should I have censored that?
Nah, let's face it, like, honestly, like, I've even said it in videos. It's been said on the podcast a few times, so, like, people know.
Okay, cool, because, you know, like, well, if it's any consolation, my name is Max. I know.
What?
I know! Anyway.
MaxN'Mate Trade's real name is Max!
I know. It's weird. It's almost like it's a pun. Anyway.
My life is a lie!
True. We're here to talk about RWBY Volume 6, Episode 12, Seeing Red. It's an episode where things happen. Let's just get that out of the way. Some things happen.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried about the title, just because I was thinking of so many things it could imply.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, the two principal antagonists of the episode were, in fact, Seeing Red.
Yeah.
So it all
them
works
literally.
Yeah, see, that is the thing. Anything to talk about before we get into this noise?
Nothing that's related. I feel like I say that every time.
Yeah, you do, but I still have to check.
One of these days.
Yeah, one of these days you'll have something. It's like, yes. Anyway, so we start off with what was the preview before, with RWBY being all, I need to get off this cliffhanger, and then she gets off. It was very easy. And so they're all like, yo, RWBY, are you okay? And they're like, am I okay? It's like, yeah, well, look, what were we supposed to do? Run away? No, you were gonna die, yo. And then, I forgot all about that scene because it's so brief. Ren is very happy when Nora shows up.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, and John too. I'm sorry.
Oh god, I imagine your version, he just runs over, like, Nora! Like, gives Nora a hug, John falls over, and he's like, Ren, what about me? I thought we were, like, best friends.
I didn't realize he said guys. I forgot, because I had muted. I have the video muted, so I can't actually hear the dialogue.
I know.
From my perspective, all I saw was him saying a word. So I figured if he was going to say one of them. Anyway, the point is, I don't remember his voice ever going that high up before. That's some of the most emotion, non-Nuka V-based emotion he's ever had.
Oh yeah, it is, actually.
So that's nice.
Good for Ren.
Yeah. He's finally starting to stop being so of a bland man. So Oscar is apparently a man with a plan, and John, who was the previous man with a plan, said, damn, that's a good plan, man. And Oscar says, thanks, man.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I'm impressed with Oscar.
He's decided that he wants to be useful.
Yay!
Huzzah! So crazy old lady is still trying to murder another crazy old lady. But it's okay, because Maria and RWBY, they got a plan. They're gonna fly right into it. Like, right down the barrel of the cannon. Oscar is notably rather confused and terrified by the prospect.
Yeah. Now, before they do this, Maria actually sees the call from the Argus base, but then she just ignores it to keep going with this.
Yeah.
So, sorry, just up. With what comes up later, oh boy, Maria, sorry, Gordovan, not looking good for you.
Nah. Anyway, RWBY missed.
Well, I do like
Miss.
Some of the dialogue of this scene. Just like, hey, Gordovan, I have one missile left, and I know exactly where I'm gonna put it. Going back to the...
Disgusting.
No, that's the callback to the
Disgusting, Maria. Disgusting with your sticks and your bombs and your bum-bums.
Then Gordovan's like, oh, one missile? I have tons! And I love Oscar's, are you too crazy?
Yes. Yes, they are. Anyway, so they're about to die, but then Maria's like, nope.
Yeah,
Oh, no!
You've been around these people.
Yeah, then they get electrocuted, and almost everybody dies, but luckily it was slightly to the left of them, so they were able to get out of the way.
Yeah, which is fortunate, and now Maria's blind.
Yeah, now she ain't got no face, and that's unfortunate. It's like, ah, blind! The normal. So Oscar has to learn how to fly, and he fails.
Well, it seemed like the ship was going down anyway.
I choose to believe it's because he's a fail! He failed!
So
how dare he not learn how to fly this military vehicle in less than 15 seconds?
If only he went with Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Indeed. So, obviously, with them crashing into the forest, everyone's a little concerned. Crow conveniently jumps off frame so he can turn into a bird without having to animate it on screen.
Honestly, because of that, I thought, oh, Crow is, like, pissed, so he's going to go and attack Cordovan full force. But
no, he's concerned.
Obviously, he's going to tend to Ruby, but I just thought, because he ran towards the cliff,
no,
that's what they were doing.
No, he had to jump off the cliff, otherwise they'd have to show him anamorphing into a bird, and that would be weird looking.
Unless they go the chibi route, where it's just with smoke.
I mean, it'd be better than this conveniently always behind something thing.
It really would.
Anyway,
I think maybe they just want to differentiate, make it different between chibi and actual Ruby.
I guess. Anyway, no one is dead, and that's surprising.
Yay! Yes.
Yeah, that's true. And I just realized Crow and Ruby wear the same damn cape.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why Ruby wears a cape.
It's why Ruby has a lot of things.
Yeah, she really looks up to her yeah, I can't talk apparently.
Her drunkle.
Yeah.
Even if he is a drunkle. Anyway, so Ruby's gonna go and do something insane, and Crow's like, young lady, get back over here right this instant. And she says, you're not my real dad, and runs off.
She literally isn't. No, he literally isn't. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with me?
A lot of things. But also you're speaking incorrectly. Yeah, that's always been one of the more bizarre theories. Anyway.
I mean, I can see it.
I just don't understand. Okay, no, I could see it. Sure, there's more than a passing resemblance. I see the connective tissue. I get it.
But
I just don't understand why it would be a secret.
Yeah, and it's even been confirmed by the writers. No, Crow is not Ruby's biological dad.
Okay, see.
It is, in fact, Tai Yang Jiaolong.
Somehow. No one knows how.
She took more after Summer.
Clearly.
Yeah. It's like in this one movie I saw, like 95% has got to be from the mother.
Yeah. So Ruby goes up to the Gundam and says, "Hey, y'all knock that off." And old lady's like, "No, you." And then Ruby's like, "We wouldn't have done this if you weren't such a butt." And then she's like, "No, you."
It is true though.
It is true.
They tried to be reasonable, but Cordovan just gave him no other choice.
Because it was a big butt. And for the briefest of seconds, Casserole, whatever her name is like, let me ponder this. Nope, I'm evil. And then she decides to try and murder Ruby, but it's okay. Yeah. Ruby planned for this. Point blank. Ruby planned for this. It's like, yeah, just go ahead and murder this 16-year-old girl. That's going to look good on the news.
Possibly 17.
Doesn't matter. The point is, Ruby just straight up jumps up all up in that thing.
Yeah,
and Nora's like,
I was not expecting that. My reaction was just like Nora.
Yeah, it's like, what? She's nuts. So she flies into the barrel of the gun and shoots it, which causes the whole dang thing to explode. Ruby manages to get out just in time to not be dead from all the rocks and ice, which I guess were its only two dust types in there.
Well, there was also electric.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think maybe wind as well.
Regardless, but Ruby gets out, although her aura is dead, so she's not going to be able to fight anything.
And also, Crow caught her, and Weiss used her glyphs to like slow her descent.
Yeah. All right. So for those,
I've seen some people say, "Oh, Crescent Rose went flying; it's gone." No, you hear it land on the ground.
Yeah, you do. Background. Yeah, you hear it go clunk clack.
Yeah, Crescent Rose is fine, everyone.
Why is that the first thing people worry about whenever Ruby falls over?
I don't know.
This is a weird trend. Anyway, for those keeping track at home, currently, Maria and Oscar, they have their aura, but they're not really combatants, really. They can fight, but, like, they'd rather not. The point is, Weiss, Ren, and Crow are the only ones right here with Aura.
But Weiss is tired. She still has Aurora, but she's just a little tired.
She's winded. She has very low stamina. This has been established. She gets tired a lot. I don't know why, and I hate it, and it's stupid. Blake can get hit by a freaking train. Go, no, man, I'm good. I'm up. I still got tons of Aura. Weiss freaking, oh, no. Let me use some glyphs to slow my friend from crashing into the ground. Oh, now I need to sit down. That's the second thing Weiss has done. I'm frustrated.
I feel like they need to give Weiss, like, more feats.
They really do. I'm so upset about all of this. Anyway.
We can talk about that sort of thing later.
Yeah. Anyway, so the ship apparently is not destroyed, which is interesting. And that's all well and good.
And Maria's just like, oh, did I miss it?
Yeah, you did. Alright, so now we're getting to the meat and potatoes. That was something that most people are taking from this episode. Like, that was a lovely first course, but here's the real foods. Because Blake and Yang are staring down at him, and it has been 6 years. This plot line has been going on for 6 years. It is literally encapsulated half of the entirety of the show. It has always been the B-plot.
Anyway, we'll get to that. So, I forget the exact lines, but Blake says to Adam that she has people that she promised to never leave, so she's not dying now. But then Adam decides to say, hey, Yang, she made a promise to me that she'd always be by my side.
Yeah, except she made that to the person that she thought you were, and you're not that person. Yeah, exactly.
When he tried that, I got a little worried, but then Yang calls him out on it.
Maybe.
Like, yes!
Maybe it's the same Blake thought Adam was the same person that people thought he was in the Black trailer.
Yeah, maybe.
In that, from 5 minutes of trailer with like 3 lines of dialogue, people thought, yeah, no, this guy seems legit.
Yeah, like, I know his entire character, his backstory and everything, from this one trailer.
Yes, and now I can totally tell how Rooster Teeth has completely derailed the character, and he makes no sense, even though we saw his descent into madness, and we've always known he's been a psycho.
Yeah. And he totally wasn't abusive in the Black trailer. Yeah, I came across a post, someone did like a massive analysis on it. Yeah, the signs were there.
It was always there. Anyway, now it is time for the combat. It's time for the kung fu fights.
Yeah.
Blake has no weapon, but she also, well, I mean, she
still has a weapon.
She has half of her weapon.
That's all she needs.
Half of a sword. And it's a 2-on-1. And look, here's the dilly. First of all, this is a really well-animated fight. I like it.
Yeah, it is.
Secondly, I can't help but notice that a lot of the moves they're pulling off are actually moves they use in cross-tag battle.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, actually. A lot of Yang's moves, namely a lot of the kicking moves that she uses in this, they were in cross-tag battle.
Oh my god!
And even some of Blake's stuff, too.
That's crazy detail! I love it!
Yeah, I like it. It's pretty great. So, Blake throws her weird ribbon gun, and Adam's all like, nah, and ping-pongs that fool back, but then Yang grabs it. I don't know why Yang was panicking so much about that, though. I don't think it would have done that much damage. Regardless, then she flings Blake, and this ultimately proves to be a bad idea.
But people have pointed this out. That's a reverse Bumblebee move. Remember in Volume 2 when they were fighting the mech, and then RWBY called Bumblebee, and then Yang caught Gamble Shroud, and Blake like swung her around to punch the mech.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the same move. They just reverse roles. All
right, I keep forgetting that Blake is for some reason incredibly strong. I was like, how did she fling Yang? She was like, oh wait, yeah, no, I forgot. She has all of the stats.
At least when you give her credit.
She has absolutely no weaknesses, and that is irritating to me.
But Cardin is totally stronger. No, he's not. Shut up.
Anyway,
I've
Blake's...
seen people say that, and it's just... Oh my god, seriously.
Anyway, so Blake gets flung, she does a cool blade clash, but then a tremor shoots her away, and she slams into a rock, and for the first time in the franchise, Blake's aura has run out.
He's not joking. That is the first time in the series.
Yeah, this has literally never happened before.
Which surprises me, actually.
It doesn't me. Gotta make sure Blake looks strong. Freaking Brock Lesnar over here.
Anyway, so Yang's worried, and then Adam's like, okay, Yang, you faster than you were at Beacon, which, oh boy.
It's funny because she's not. But she is good at flips.
Yeah.
And she does a remarkably good job of not getting cut in half.
Which I'm glad about.
Yeah.
And Adam's trying to fight Yang, and then he just shouts, what does she even see in you?
Yeah, but before that, you see Blake scuttling on a little rock.
Spider Blake. Spider Blake.
Realistically, shouldn't be able to do what she's doing. There's
like, from the last chapter of her swinging through the trees and now climbing up the rocks.
There's literally nothing for her to have a hand or foothold on, and yet there she goes.
Spider Blake does whatever a Spider Blake does.
All right,
Can she swing from a web?
No.
No, she can't. She's a cat. Look out, she's the Spider Blake.
She does use the ribbon, though. Anyway, we need to say, this is important because maybe gravity dust, I don't know. The point is, Adam uses his freaking sword like a buzzsaw boomerang. I don't even know how you do that.
I'm not gonna lie, we brought up Cross Tag Battle, like, just based on the fights we've seen. Could you imagine Adam in Cross Tag Battle?
He would be probably pretty good.
He would, actually. What? Your only mate's, like, saying Adam would be good at something?
Well, yeah, he's good at fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel it's really safe to say that, like, if Yang and Blake weren't fighting together, they probably would have lost individually.
Probably. Well, they can hold their own really well.
Yes. I mean, Yang showed off better, but the point of the matter is, I feel like it would have been a very much harder fight for them. Anyway, for the first time since Beacon.
Years.
Yang uses her semblance.
Yep, Adam goes in for a kill, but then surprise, surprise, she caught his sword
and she's
with
Super
her
Saiyan,
robo-arm.
And she's got fire hair.
And goddamn, does that semblance look beautiful in this animation style.
Yeah, it looks a lot better now. And so,
with the line, gotcha. And then
Yang gives her...
boom to the ribs.
Yang gives Adam the big boy punch. Like, embedded in the ground punch. I don't know how much force it takes to do that, but ow. Anyway, Adam's semblance is... Adam's aura's gone.
Yep.
And so is Yang.
He tries to reach for his sword, but wait. Yang's still holding on to it, saying, yeah, I'm not faster, but I'm smarter.
Yeah, but her aura...
throws that thing off a cliff.
Her aura also disappears.
Yeah,
so now nobody has any aura. And she yeets that sucker chump off the thing. And he's like, nah, I need that for stabbing. And he goes down to go get it, but then somehow...
Boom, Blake!
Yeah, but I'm confused by this. When did Blake get there?
She leaped over and climbed up.
Yeah, but she was never... She was above them.
No, she leaped over to the ledge they were standing on, and then climbed up that to get to the ledge of it. And it's kind of weird how...
Why did she climb... Why did she climb obviously higher up than either Adam or Yang were, and then jump down to a lower thing, and then climb up that?
Honestly, I don't know. It just seems like they planned that out perfectly without saying a word to each other.
I guess.
That just shows how in sync they are.
Yeah. Backstreet Boys back all right. Anyway. Adam gets shanked.
Well, hang on. I want to point out this tiny detail I noticed. After Blake punches him, he gets staggered a little bit. He actually kicks the other half of Gamble's shroud back.
He stumbles over it.
Yeah, and then when him and Blake are trying to grab one piece of it, Yang grabs the piece he kicked away. Blake stabs him through the heart, Yang stabs him through the back.
And, yeah. So...
all Adam had to say was, oh.
Well, see, here's the thing. They murderers now.
It was self-defense.
Yeah, but that's still the first human being they've ever killed.
Yeah. And I imagine, like, yeah, that is gonna have, like, some effect on them. But...
I mean, in their line of work, it's probably believable that they'd probably have to become mentally accustomed to the idea of murdering somebody, but at the same time, like... crazy.
Yeah, and, like, come on, he gave them, like, no other choice.
No, I know he did. No, they did what they had to. He was just gonna keep going and keep coming back otherwise, so I get it. They had to do it. So anyway, he gets a double impaled, he falls, he lands on a rock, his back probably breaks, his leg is in a completely different direction than legs are supposed to go, and he lands in ice water, so clearly we're gonna see him next season.
No.
No. He's dead. And I know what you're thinking.
Dead.
I know what you're thinking, MaxN'Mate. But you were so adamant on Cinder not being dead. Why are you being hypocrites? Okay, let me tell you, let me break it down for you. Cinder got gently pushed off of a cliff.
I wouldn't call that gently pushed.
No, it was a very gentle push.
She did get pushed.
It was just a boop. And she got covered in some ice, which isn't inherently lethal, by the way, unless she was completely deep freezed, which she was not. You could tell pretty easily. And then she landed in a pool of water.
Yeah, and if anything, the ice coating probably protected her.
Yeah, and she's full of god juice.
Hmm.
Like maiden powers, and she's got a freaking grim arm, and she's like a freaking principal villain. Like, obviously she's not dead. She's not gonna get killed off by a freaking side character.
Yeah, and we didn't see her get mortally wounded, like, impaled beforehand.
So, I'm sorry, but once someone gets impaled twice, falls off a cliff, hits a rock on the way down, and then lands in ice water where they will, at the very minimum, die of hypothermia, or drown, or blood loss, Adam is dead.
Yep, Adam is finally dead.
He is the deaded.
Mm-hmm.
And then Blake is all cryy. She gets all weepy.
Yeah, which Yang immediately goes to comfort her. They hug, and Blake says, "I'm not gonna break my promise. I swear."
Yeah, Yang knows.
Yeah, and then they hug. Well, Blake lets it all out, and I just want to throw this out there.
Mm-hmm.
With Adam dead, Blake's finally free.
Yeah, we're finally free from Blake.
But anyway, like, the White Fang is no longer a thing. Adam's gone.
Mm-hmm.
That part of Blake's life is no longer gonna come back and try to ruin what life she's trying to make for herself now.
Yeah, no, the subplot's over.
Yeah, she's finally free. She can move on.
I mean, she might still have some PTSD and some lingering, like, thoughts and feelings to work through, but other than that, yeah, no, everything substantial is gone now.
Yeah.
And I was talking about this off camera, off the record, you see.
Yeah, and
every single volume has had Blake as the subplot. Sometimes the primary plot. Volume 1, ooh, Blake, she's so mysterious. What's going on with that noise?
She's a faunus.
Oh, she's a faunus. Let's all talk about that for a while. Now she's with Sun, and now she's doing some stuff over there. Now she's fighting all these people, and then the friggin' puppet girl shoots a laser, and the raptor falls out of the plane. And then it just keeps going. In Volume 3, oh, why is Blake always so distant and crap, blah, 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 blah. Then she gets shanked, and then she runs away like a coward, and everyone's mad at her. And then we gotta go and see her dang house, and everyone's like, oh, wow, look at her parents. Aren't they the greatest? Let's all focus on this for a year and a half. And he just keeps going! Blake is more of a main character than Weiss or Yang!
And yet she still barely speaks to RWBY one-on-one.
This was the first volume it happened!
Yeah,
I am upset!
Okay, I say this as a Blake fan. Have Blake take more of a back seat in Volume 7. Let Volume 7 be Weiss's volume.
Just one. I'm willing to not be petty about this.
Like, we're going to Atlas. Like, we're likely going to see Weiss's family again. Like, this has to be Weiss's volume.
Please. I'm just asking for one volume of being the main character. Just one.
And heck, even the same thing with Yang.
Yang? If she's not third place, she's second place in screen time and relevance to the plot. Because she got wrapped up in the Blake conspiracy.
Yeah, and now the
Blake conspiracy
is finally over.
It's done. It's over.
I mean, there's still one more episode for them to do something. Who knows what they'll do?
I don't know. But the point is, like, come on now. No one at Rooster Teeth watches these. I know I'm saying this to nobody. But come on. Just one volume where Weiss matters. Just one.
Hey, word will get out.
Just one. Like, I know, I got harp on this a lot, but it's just...
But hey, it makes sense considering, like, Weiss is your favorite.
She's my favorite character, and I've always liked her, and I like all the development she's gone through, and I'm not saying she hasn't done anything. It's just when you stack her up next to almost any other character, it's lacking. I feel like the only character that she's done more than is maybe Ren.
Which is...
And even he got a subplot!
Yeah.
Nora to a lesser extent, but she played a large role in that. But
and if people say, "Oh, but what about Volume 4?" As Max said in a previous video, like, she spent all of Volume 4 just in a mansion, getting yelled at and getting slapped by her dad.
She got slapped by her dad. She got mad at a dinner party. She set a boar loose. Then she was locked in her room, and then she sneaked her way out of town. And then she got freaking kidnapped, kicked in the head. And then just luckily, I mean, you know, she was right about to actually do something. She was I'm gonna do an escape thingy. And, well, then, no, we can't have Weiss be competent and do something and get out of this situation on her own. No! Yang conveniently just kind of shows up and manages to fix everything.
Yeah, like, hell, I've been going back through older RWBY volumes for, like, a what if I'm trying to write. Mm-hmm. It's a, what if Yang was a Super Saiyan from Dragon Ball? Saiyan from Dragon Ball, I mean.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I realized, like, Weiss really got the short end.
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
What the hell?
Like, okay. Thinking about every single fight... By the way, the episode's over, basically. Wait, no. There's a giant Grimzilla, and he's coming.
Okay,
and a big army of Griffins, and everyone's all freaking out, and everyone's very concerned, and it's going to be a big fight, and it's going to be great, and all that. Blah, 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 blah. Looking back to all of the fights in the history of this show, any fight where Weiss is not part of a team, she loses, and like the close. Okay, she had a one-on-one fight. She's had two one-on-one fights. She fought that white Fang guy with the chainsaw and lost, and she fought Flint Cole and lost.
And then
Yang beat both of them.
Yeah.
Weiss literally kamikaze dived that fool into some freaking lava, and the writers were like, you know what? Let's have him totally survive that and have Yang finish it. While Weiss just kind of sits uselessly on the floor covered in soot.
Yeah, Weiss needs more.
Good lord.
Okay.
Oh, well, I guess technically she did defeat that one knight in her trailer 6 years ago. Other than that, she's always been... in the
process, she got a scar from it.
Yeah. So even that wasn't like it was a complete victory. It's like, I don't understand. Why is she the go-to character for abuse? It's like, oh, wow, we really have to make sure that, you know, the team isn't doing too good. What do? Oh, have Weiss get her ass kicked. Whether it's Chainsaw Guy, whether it's Flint Cole, whether it's freaking Vernal, whether it's anybody. And it's not even like they're close fights either. She always gets completely whooped.
Hey, hell, speaking of the Vernal fight, I noticed there's a point where she just jumps into, like, some wooden pillar by mistake, and I'm like, Why?
She's trained her whole life with this dang sword and her glyphs. Her thing is supposed to be finesse and grace. Why is she so bad at dodging?
I don't understand it. Like, looking back, like... Okay, there is hope, maybe because we discussed Blake and Ruby not talking to each other throughout Volume 5.
I'm sure a lot of other people did too.
Well, yeah, but that got fixed this volume. Maybe, because we're discussing this, the writers will be like, yeah, we gotta do more for Weiss. Like, a lot more.
Like, for real. Okay, look. Let's take this all the way back. Let's talk about the color trailers before we even had character names, okay? What happens in each and every one of them? Ruby defeats a small army of Grimm. Yang defeats an entire club full of people with, like, weapons and stuff. Fights a bear with a rocket launcher. Blake, even though she was with Adam at the time, still fought a bunch of robots.
And tanked the giant laser beam.
And Weiss fought a giant knight that still gave her a permanent scar over her eye. She's the only character in any of them to have actually been injured. Everyone else did it perfectly, flawlessly, without any problems. But not Weiss. Then Weiss gets exploded by Ruby. And then Weiss has to go through the Gauntlet of Humility, where she's constantly smacked in the head constantly until she's finally made humble. I feel like she's been humbled. She's basically become the freaking heart of the group at this point. And how does she get rewarded for all of this character growth? How does she turn all of this into a gain for herself? She gets impaled. And John saves her.
And I just want to point out, for those who are fans of, like, Blake and Yang, well, like, however it is because of Weiss, like, that Yang was so, like, open to Blake coming back.
She was pretty adamant on not giving a crap about Blake anymore.
Yeah, and then after the talk with Weiss, like, she was happy to see Blake. I'm also on the side, if not for Weiss, then things between Blake and Yang would be a lot worse.
And I'm sorry that this turned into a rant about this, but it's just so frustrating. And I say this, I like Ruby, I like Blake, I like Yang. I like all of them. I like seeing any of them do cool stuff. Weiss is my favorite character because of everything she's gone through and her attempts to become a better person, and it's been working, and she has yet to be rewarded. Because you want to know something else?
What at?
Technically, Weiss is homeless.
Oh, Christ! I didn't even realize that!
She has nowhere to go. She's been disowned by her family.
I did not think about that!
She has nothing! She gave up everything to come back and try to find her, at least her sisters, but she ran into Ruby again, and that's great. But that's what she wanted to do. She went off and she did that. It was a huge risk. It pulled it off, and what happens? She gets kidnapped and then impaled.
And then it turns out, we're going back.
So basically, she could have done absolutely nothing. And eventually, the rest of the team would have ended up in Atlas.
Well, that's debatable, I think. That last bit.
If the whole relic thing did happen, look, I mean, I don't know, maybe Blake would show up, maybe she wouldn't, but Ruby would definitely be doing this. And so would Yang, because she's going with Ruby. Assuming everything basically went the same. Without Weiss just Weiss not being there and she stayed home, and let's just say assume that all went out okay, they would have gone to Atlas. So basically, all Weiss got for all this character development, for being able to master her summoning semblance, well, not master, she hasn't even mastered it. She successfully did it once, and then it was like, alright, that's good. So she throws everything away, throws away all of her money and her connections and her family, trying to get something done. And yeah, she beats the giant bee, and that's great. That's great. With help of Pilot, may he rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Pilot.
Yes. But it's like, oh, I'm gonna bring out my summon now. She brings out Giant Knight, and the fight's called off. She can't use it. Then it's the fight with Vernal, and she keeps trying to summon, but she keeps getting interrupted and punched and kicked and shot at, and then impaled.
But then at least
no. Oh sure, the Queen Lancer impaled Hazel.
Yeah, and
for all the good that did. Weiss gets impaled and is on death's doorstep, and John needs to unlock his superpower in order to save her. Hazel gets impaled, and he just walks it off.
Well, because he has a semblance where he just can't feel pain.
Why wasn't there a hole? His clothes weren't ripped.
I did not notice that.
It did. Nothing. Hell, he's ultimately the one who kills the Queen Lancer thingy. I'm very frustrated right now.
I don't like thinking this, but I am starting to think they don't hate Weiss, do they?
I'm finding it hard. I'm finding it very little evidence to support the idea that they like her or anything about her anywhere near to the level as every other character in this show. Pyrrha's dead and she gets more respect. You probably couldn't hear that, but my head just hit my desk because I'm exasperated.
I kind of heard it.
I am upset. I am sad. I just want my favorite character to do something.
I mean, I want all of Team RWBY to get all these crazy feats, have some development, but after all this, Weiss, give us some love. I list the physical feats because, let's face it, we know that Ruby, Weiss, and Blake are one day going to appear in Death Battle, probably.
Probably.
Well, Ruby's already confirmed, but with that, we're not really talking about that.
No, we're not. That's besides the point. I don't even care about that. I don't want people to think I'm being overly demanding, or I'm being greedy, or I'm being over dramatic. Literally, I'll be happy with Weiss gets into a 1v1 fight against somebody who is impressive and wins. And
not just a Grimm.
Not just a Grimm. Not fighting a Grimm. I want her to fight another huntsman, whether they be good or evil or whatever. I want her to fight them and win without any help from anyone.
I mean, a fight between her and Emerald has been, foreshadowed from, a few openings. Have her beat Emerald!
Have her fight and beat Emerald! I'll take it! I'll take it! Have her punch Watts! I don't care!
That would be funny, actually.
Just give her something.
Yeah.
She has nothing.
Yeah, so... Yeah, anyway, as I said before, whatever's going on with Blake and Yang right now, that's getting wrapped up in the finale, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And...
with the White Fang and Adam gone, this opens up airtime to any other number of subplots. Maybe that's why this one ended here. Maybe they're planning on doing something with Weiss next volume, and that's why they had to get all of this out of the way, so that Blake and Yang could have more of a secondary role in things. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm saying all of this for nothing.
Maybe.
But I could also just be optimistic. And maybe, just maybe, this never-ending cycle is just going to continue.
Actually, it is funny that you say that.
Why? Why must you laugh at my pain?
No. If you remember the numerology thing I brought up in previous films, by the way, my numerology theory got proven right, again, thanks to Adam's death, because with the whole number 6, Mark the Beast and whatnot, the fact that he's dead in this overall conclusion, that's number 1 for numerology. I did look into the number 7 and what that symbolizes.
What's to symbolize?
Well, I remember one thing being like the end of a cycle.
Okay.
So, boom, it's the end of the cycle where Weiss doesn't get to do stuff. She takes the front seat this volume.
That would be so nice.
Although I did think of another subplot it also could be.
Yeah, it's probably going to be that. Anyway.
Then I won't say it, because...
I don't know how they're going to... I don't know how freaking Neptune is going to inexplicably show up and get a 5-episode arc while they're in Atlas. While Weiss just gets hit in the head with a soccer ball. Where's the RWBY chibi skit about this?
What, you mean a skit where they just mention that Weiss doesn't get to do a whole lot?
Weiss never gets to do anything and gets beat up all the time. Even in chibi, she's treated like garbage.
Oh, God!
I just realized that!
Oh, for God's sake!
There was an entire episode that was just like, oh, look at all these family members that love their members of RWBY, and Weiss just stands there, sad. And then Winter shows up, and she's a jerk. And all those other episodes, I mean, everything is comically exaggerated, but she never gets a heartwarming moment.
There's even the season finale. Like, Yang gets that dream of, like, her riding a bike through the air and spawning rainbows and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, Blake eats a fish and then gets sick. But Weiss, she's smart, and then everyone's like, know it all, know it all. And I'm just like, really? That's what you give Weiss?
Everyone gets something funny or heartwarming or adorable. Weiss has Weiss has a nightmare. She gets nothing. She never gets anything. I'm starting to think they don't like Weiss.
Okay, here's some... Well, this is also kind of like spoiled for Winter in a way, but... Okay, the Mirror Mirror manga. When Weiss was sick as a child, Winter dropped whatever she was doing, made sure Weiss was okay, and even read to her.
Wasn't that the same manga where she basically bemoaned and was depressed about her lack of any sex appeal?
Yes.
The same manga that also, while it's Weiss's manga, here it is. And it's just her constantly suffering.
I mean, she has great moments with the rest of the team.
Never on her own.
With Winter.
Never on her own. Someone else always has to do it.
Okay, from what I can remember, the best thing I can think of is, like... Well, it comes from a negative. Like, she tries to bake cookies.
And fails.
And it turns out they're inedible, but then they use them differently.
Yeah, and they use them as a weapon because she's that awful at cooking.
Or she's just good at making weapons.
That's a very optimistic way of looking at things.
I'm trying!
But at least you see where I'm coming from, right?
Yeah, I do.
I'm just saying, man. You got real lucky having Blake be your favorite character. She gets to do everything, and everyone loves her, and she's got, like, 4 different love interests, and everything just goes freaking peaches and cream for her. Oh, sure, okay, fine.
Like
She goes through a lot of... Yeah, I know. She goes through a lot of trauma and stuff, and I didn't mean to undercut all of the horrors that she had to go through, but the point is, she won! She overcame it all!
But hey, I think...
For 6 years!
Well, now I believe it should be Weiss's turn in the front seat.
And if anybody actually sat through all of that, thank you. I promise to not do it again. I have a lot of pent-up frustration.
Yeah. It's fine, dude. Like, hey, we talked about it. It's out there. It's a thing that people know now. Maybe word can spread. Steve writers will think, what? No, we gave Weiss some awesome stuff in Volume. Well, okay, well, maybe in... Well, when she... Oh. Okay, let's have a look at that Volume 7 script.
See, the best and greatest things Weiss has managed to do solo is defeat the Knight and the Queen Lancer. And even then the Queen Lancer made the ship fall out of the sky. So it was, and the Knight gave her a permanent scar. So they're both Pyrrhic victories. Yeah, she won, but still lost in a different way.
I do feel like we've kind of gone on about this a bit. Like, we still have other things that I feel like we should address.
You know what? Go ahead. My voice is tired. Bring it up. Talk about whatever you want. I'll chime in.
Alright. So, I've seen people say some things, and I even somewhat hinted at with, like, the change some stuff, like, for Weiss, and I've seen people say, oh, Rooster Teeth, like, changed this, or they're kind of, like, doing this just for the fans, or, like, this isn't what Monty would have wanted. Like, those kind of posts, like, those piss me off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially when they try and bring up Monty and use him as, like a crutch to say, oh, Rooster Teeth are doing a bad job. Like,
that's incredibly disrespectful.
Yeah. And if people say, oh, this isn't what Monty would have wanted, were you there?
Did you know him?
Yeah. Were you in the room when he, Miles, and Kerry sat down and planned everything out?
They planned a good number of volumes out. I'm not going to say nothing was changed. Sure, things were. But I sincerely doubt to the extent that people want to think.
Yeah, and to quote Barbara on RWBY Rewind, like, while some people think that fans, like, might have had some kind of, like, I forget what the exact word is, but you get the idea. Like, fan reactions, like, indicate how things go. No, things have been planned since the beginning.
The broad strokes had been created. Like, this is the beginning of the story. This is how it's ultimately ending. Not every single tiny detail was laid out, but all of the major story beats were.
Alright, and I also realized the word I was gonna bring up, and this goes into a little something with like, some people think, like, stuff they're doing is just pandering to fans.
If they were pandering, a lot of things would be different.
Yeah, like, for example, if they were pandering to, let's say, shippers, a lot of characters would have been paired up already.
Yeah.
Oh, Blake would have her own harem.
That is what people seem to totally want her to do, and that is really weird.
It is, honestly.
Why? Whatever. No, I'm not even going to touch that. Just move on.
Anyway. But, yeah, I don't see Rooster Teeth, like, doing stuff just to pander to fans. Like, okay? So,
that being said...
Don't try bringing this up.
That being said, I ain't going to say the show's perfect. I ain't going to say the writing is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. Anything can be improved on. I still think it's a good show. Are there things I disagree with? Yes. Are there things I wish there would happen? Yes. Am I angry that these things haven't happened? More so frustrated, but I'm moving past it. I'm still watching the show. I'm still talking about it every week.
Like, for example, after something in Volume 3 really upset me, I was hoping to see Adam get his comeuppance, what he deserves.
Well,
I'm quoting him from the short.
Yeah.
And through patience and build-up, it finally happened. So, if that can happen...
And I don't want to try and detract from your moment. I'm really glad this thing that you really wanted to happen finally happened. Like that's important to state. Now we're just gonna have to hope my time's coming.
It will. I have faith.
Really, the only saving grace is, well, technically she is still a main character. She's in the the first letter of her name is in the title. They're gonna have to have her do something eventually.
And they will. I have faith. And remember, we've been calling a lot of stuff recently.
True.
So, hey, this could be one of them. You never know. Seriously, Volume 6, more like Volume MaxN'Mate called it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've honestly come back through our discussions to see what we've called and made a list. Oh boy.
That sounds like a really cool list.
Yeah, we will save that for another time, though.
Okay, cool.
But I just want to touch on... we talked about this briefly off camera. Cordovan.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What's gonna happen?
Worst case scenario, she's gonna get killed by Grimzilla. Best case scenario, she doesn't get killed by Grimzilla, and through a combination of badassery and Ruby's crazy eye powers, it's able to be neutralized, and all is well. And she totally gets fired because of all of the nonsense she just did, because this is all her fault!
Yeah, I mean...
She caused this.
Technically, yes. Ruby and the gang were stealing from her.
Yes, but she made the executive decision to bring out a giant Gundam and get into a fist fight with a bunch of teenagers. The entire town saw the giant robot go out there.
And heard her loudly announce, "These people need a reminder that they're under the protection of Atlas!"
Like, you think that's not going to drudge up some negative emotions? Summon some demons? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Plus, they tried to explain things. They tried to do everything civilized. But she was like, "No, Atlas is mighty."
Yes, like, and I'm a banana's tiny lady.
And you have a faunus with you, so no.
Yeah, also casual racism.
Yeah, and also, I think she's more or less out for herself than what her actual job is, protecting people.
Friggin' duh.
Because when Weiss was about to board the jet, saying that she came to her senses, she was like, "Oh, I'm sending my best guards to escort you, and make sure that the general knows that."
Mm-hmm. No, it's all personal gain.
Yeah, no. And Ruby even said she's supposed to be in her position of power to protect people.
She is
but she's not doing that.
No, she's just showing off.
Yeah. Honestly, from the first episode with Cordovan, I thought, she's getting fired.
I mean, yeah. Oh! There's one last thing I want to bring up before we stop.
That the trooper isn't Neo.
Okay, first, I'm going to be completely honest with you. When Grimzilla was approaching, and it cut to two of the guards watching Grimzilla show up, I thought that actually might have been Neo and Cinder.
Wait, seriously?
Well, it was the same guard that people said, "Oh, that's Neo in disguise." It was the same one. It's like, "Oh my god, was it true?" But then they both freaked out.
Okay, then again, now you say it, Cinder can disguise others. She still used her illusion thing on Torchwick at one point, in combination with herself.
Yeah.
So, maybe?
I mean, I don't know, but they freaked out, so I don't think it's them, but for a brief moment, I thought it was about to confirm that it was, and that would have been whack. Anyway.
I mean, if they were smiling, it would have absolutely confirmed it.
Yeah, if they were happy about the Grim, then obviously. But...
Yeah, but...
The thing I wanted... The thing I wanted...
I gotta admit, from Grimzilla, the Raw isn't that far off.
No. The thing I wanted to bring up is... Adam is definitely dead. But...
Yes.
But... If someone scoops out his bloated carcass from the river and imbues it with a bunch of grim hocus pocus and it comes back towards the finale of the series, wouldn't surprise me.
Okay. For magic and grim stuff, I could see it happening, but what point would that serve?
I don't know.
Hell, I don't even think Salem really cares.
No, I'm not saying it's likely. I'm just saying. And here's another thing. I don't even think that it would be him. He wouldn't be alive again. I think it would just be his husk. I don't know, because I can't stop picturing the idea of them doing that with Pyrrha.
Yeah, true. I guess if they...
And if they do that, if they do something like that, and we see evil grim Pyrrha, I'll be shocked if we never see turbocharged grim Adam.
Okay, you bring up a good point.
I don't know. We don't even know if that's something that the Grimm can do. I'm just saying. It sounds like something they could pull off. If they did it, I wouldn't be shocked.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Yeah, we'll check that noise out in Volume 14. Yang's Exodus. No, there will be. Volume 732. Yang goes to the hair salon.
I know that Miles, Carey, and Monty planned out at least like 10 years worth of RWBY, but they have said that they could explore more stuff.
If they can, if they finish up the whole main story, like the entire like Salem plot, then if they wanted to, like, I don't know, just make a couple like epilogue thingies every now and then, like, here they are, it's the future now, and look at them be really badass.
Yeah, like, show where are they now?
Like, oh, actually, you know what would be a great bookend? Is after the series is over, you give each member of Team RWBY another trailer, the video of them, I don't know, let's say, 10 years, 15 years in the future. Just, and we see them at their full potential.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I like that idea.
I think it would be neat. Because it's
I
like,
don't
okay.
want to see it anytime soon, though, because that'll just be sad to know that, yeah, this is the last time we're ever seeing them.
Yeah, it's probably going to be 4 to 5 years at minimum, so don't worry about it. Well,
maybe more if there is more that they could do.
It's possible. We'll see. Regardless, we've been talking for an hour, and at least 20 of those were my Weiss rant.
Yeah, but let's face it, we need to get that out. Like, for instance, for those who watched my reaction to this episode, I apologize if you were watching on headphones. I put the warning in there, so it's not on me.
It's true.
What I said in that upon Adam getting stabbed, I've wanted to yell that on camera for 3 whole years.
It's called catharsis, people.
Yes, and I probably shouldn't agree to that, but whatever.
There's nothing wrong with catharsis.
I'm gonna be totally honest, I don't remember what that word means.
Satisfaction as a result of... Okay, hang on.
I had to say it, didn't I?
Providing psychological relief through the open expression of strong emotion.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go then. And that's partly why I wasn't, like, yelling and whatnot in this.
Yes, because he was able to get it all out.
Yeah, I got it all out.
Balls in your court, RWBY. Make Weiss do something cool, and let me have that moment.
Let Max have his moment.
I just want that moment, man. Just give me one thing. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. It's going to be a little while before the next episode. I guess there's not going to be one next week.
No, there's no RWBY Rewind. Like, well, for when we're recording, it will be tomorrow.
Yeah.
But there is still an episode, like, this upcoming week.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, it just means we don't have a preview to talk about, so we're going into the finale 100% blind.
It's the finale?
Yeah.
Bummer. How are they gonna... Okay, well, then again, I guess the finales are typically half an hour long. Like, they'll probably find a way to wrap it all up.
Okay, and I know I brought this up, like, in the last part, but people have brought up RWBY Chibi, how it might have foreshadowed how this could turn out.
It's true.
Because a giant Grimm is attacking Beacon, and Blake's like, yeah, if only we knew someone with silver eyes, and she looks at RWBY, and RWBY's like, season finale, can't do it yet.
Yeah.
And, well, it's the finale. A giant Grimm has shown up.
Yang's gonna try and fight it. Don't think anything's gonna happen, but I'm still gonna do it.
I wonder if they're even slightly aware of anything else that's going on.
You know, eventually...
How far away are they?
Oh my god, I just this moment realized something.
What's that?
When the dust settles for Blake and Yang. Blake and Yang. I said Blaine and Yang. No.
Okay.
Once it's all settled and they're good and they're able to get up and move again, it's gonna suddenly dawn on them, oh crap! We didn't do the thing. Things probably went badly. Uh-oh.
And they have no bike, so they gotta, like, run.
Yeah, who knows how far away they are. I mean, if they had to...
They can, actually. They gotta be exhausted.
That's true, they have no aura.
I mean, it could always, like, regenerate.
Like, yeah, I know it does that over time, but I always figured it took maybe, like, a good 12 hours to fully replenish something like that. Like, okay, I'm out. I'm done for the day.
Well, who knows? There's still a lot that we don't really
But
know.
anyway, considering that Yang brought Blake there with the bike, that does imply that being on the bike made this way faster. So they might not even be able to do much in the finale.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because, I mean, they got to do a lot this episode.
Yeah. So I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Like, they might have, like, a few things in the finale. Whatever it may be. Who knows?
I guess that's it.
Yeah. It's not really much else. I think we've gone over literally everything.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. So, see you next time for the finale, I guess.
I was about to make a joke. Like, we didn't cover that one tiny pebble in the background.
That's true. I named it Susan. Bye.
Bye. See you in the finale.
Woo!